Okay, I've never wrote fan fiction before. Like, I always thought it was
Did
like
you write
weird.
fan fiction?
Bro, I had to make myself laugh somehow.
She popped off. Okay, what was it about, though?
I wrote Psych fan fiction. You don't want to know what it was about, bro.
I do. Please tell me the EMT guys were in it.
It was about... Welcome to Your Friends Podcast. I'm your host, Megan, and this is my lovely co-host, Liv.
What's up?
What's up? And this is Pablo. Yeah! We've all seen the trend that's been coming up lately. You know, he's a 10 or she's a 10, but he picks his nose, or but she is a hoe, you know, like whatever,
Yeah.
right? I thought of a really good one. Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready, please. I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right. He's a 10, but all of his homeboys are also 10s. Because then it's like you don't want to like fuck with him because then you can't like fuck with the other
Concentrate,
homeboys,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, which
You're
one
tempted.
do I want?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you just gotta fuck with the group and make your way around.
Yep. Hold me hopper for life, baby. Hold me hopper for fucking life. I would say like he's an 8 after that. If his,
Right.
if his
It
friends are
depends
also
on
10s.
like how he treats you and how how his friends treat you.
Yeah.
Give me another one.
Okay. He's a 7, but he's the only guy that's around your age on a plane that's having heavy turbulence.
11.
Yeah. I completely
11.
agree. I completely
No, end of the
you're
world.
instantly instantly
That's
bonded.
literally something that's in every movie, every end of the world shit. And
Yeah.
I believe that to be true. When shit's going down and shit's going, like, getting real, that end of the world apocalypse sex is about to hit. It's about to hit so fucking hard. Have you ever seen any fucking apocalypse movie that didn't have that apocalypse sex? And I mean, it's like, bro, we got nothing left to live for. Like, fuck the next guy that walks in the room. And it's like, you're like low key, you're like a 3, but like it's the end of the world. Like, let me get some dick, you know? Like, I gotta have some dick before I go out, you know? Like, go out the right way, go out swinging.
Swinging.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when it comes down to it, the end of the world, that's probably what the majority of people would be doing.
Right, and the thing that makes me question about that is that, like, this is kind of deep, but, like, is that our internal, like, human nature is, like, when shit's, like, there's the end of the human race is threatened, like, is it in your human nature to repopulate?
Fuck. Or
crazy.
Or is it in your nature to not feel lonely and using that to distract yourself from what's going on?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's huge.
And you're willing to jump on anyone for that shit.
Anyone.
Anyone. No, literally. I would say guys are 3 on the plane, only guy your age.
Okay.
Plane's going down, like hella turbulence. Okay, wait, is he in your row? Like, are you next to him?
He's like 2 rows away. So he's pretty close.
Okay, so the question is, like, do you get up and go jump on his lap? Or, like, do you wait for the plane to go down?
To be honest, I think I'd be the type of person to go up to him and be like, yo, this plane's about to go down. Like, what you trying to do? Mile High Club before we die? Let's go. Let's go, baby.
You want some out-of-pocket shit?
Yeah.
My fucking roommate the other day, like, for no reason, I can't remember what it was, but she was like, the Mile High Club is overrated. And I was like, you're joking. You're telling me you're speaking from experience? She was like, yeah, it's totally overrated. Like, it's not even that good. And I was like, damn. She was like, the only good thing about it is the bragging rights, like, from being in the Mile High Club.
I mean, I'd say the bragging rights are pretty great, though.
I mean, yeah, like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like, that small-ass bathroom.
Honestly, yeah,
Have
that
you
is
heard
impressive.
stories from that?
I haven't, actually.
Oh, my gosh. Well, first, I was watching the show on called 911. It's like a dramatized version of like this firefighter, a 911 operator, and a policewoman. It's super intense. Love it to death. Would recommend 100%. Y'all should check it out. But there's this one, so that you know how like in all like crime shows or whatever, they show like the scene of like what's happening and then how they get the call, you know?
Yeah.
So the scene before the scene happened, there was this couple and they were like, And they were like sitting there quietly on the plane. It's like jotting along, whatever. And she's like, meet me in the bathroom in 20. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll be there. And so when the plane goes down, they find this fucking couple. It's like in the ocean. And it's about to sink. And they're like stuck in the bathroom. It's hella funny. And and it showed like all the turbulence they went through. And I'm like, bro, I can't even imagine like being in that small ass bathroom with someone, not to mention a dick in you. And suddenly you hit turbulence like at miles high in the fucking like air. No, that's not it. It's not worth it.
That's not it. You know what? I could almost compare that to car sex. I think car sex is really overrated.
I lost my virginity in a car.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't fuck in a car until I was 16, but I lost my virginity at like 14. Dead ass.
Whoa.
Yeah. I didn't. No, wait.
Okay.
I only fucked in a car for like the first 2 years that I was sexually active. And then I remember fucking on a bed and I was like, damn, this is a game changer right here.
Yo, this
Look at all this open space.
This shit's fire. I can do anything.
Get up and get some water.
You know that I lost my virginity on shrooms, right?
No.
Yeah.
You're fucking kidding me
I am
right now.
not fucking with you. Okay,
Megan,
so no, literally.
How have I not known this?
Okay, I think there's so many stories that I just forget to tell you, and like this shit was crazy. All right, so I'm 17. I'm a senior. It's like the end of my senior year almost. Okay. And back in the day, back in the hometown, you know, I was hanging out with this older guy who was like 3 years older than me for like since I was a sophomore. And he's not a good guy at all. Not a good guy. But he's like a hardcore partier, you know? Like everyone either loves him or hates him. And, it's this whole thing in my hometown where like everyone knows like how this guy works. And he can literally get anyone to do anything for him. Ooh. Like he's a sociopath.
Damn. Is that?
He's like the main. So his name's, I'll bleep it, but.
Okay, yeah, I was about to guess this. I knew that was him. Yes, I was like. Yes. It's sounding like,
yeah, so this motherfucker, so one night we did shrooms at his, like, older friend's house, and so I'm a senior, and I'm in this garage, and I'm doing shrooms with all these, like, older college kids, and I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? It was my first time doing shrooms.
Okay.
And so we take these shrooms, and we're all just, like, tripping, whatever, in this garage, you know, I'm like seeing the walls breathe and shit for my first time, you know, and I'm having like some anxiety, whatever.
Okay.
And then we get back to my house, and shrooms make you like pretty emotional.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I was getting pretty emotional, and I kind of like instigated it. I was like, oh, like I want you to take my virginity, like blah, blah, blah. And like thought it was gonna be like this romantic thing or whatever.
No.
And then, God, we ended up having sex,
right?
And he has a condom on, and then he pulls out and he's like, oh my God, hold on. And he goes to the bathroom, and I hear the sink running, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I go to the bathroom, and I see him like, he has the condom under the sink and is like running the sink water through, and it's going through the condom like there was a hole in the condom. And we were both like, fuck, there's no way this happened to me on my first time, right? And so he's like, okay, it's fine. Like, just go get plan B tomorrow.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Like, are you gonna help me pay for that shit? Or like, or what? And
it's your sperm.
Yeah,
not my fault.
I'm like, bitch, motherfucker.
Right. Pay up.
Yeah, pay the fuck up. And then he tells me that he's not gonna give me money for it, and that I just don't have to pay him for the shrooms. And then he falls asleep, and I spend all night crying.
Oh, no.
And then the next morning, he left to go back to college, and I had to go get plan B, and it was fucking terrifying and terrible. That was my first experience with sex, and it was a very bad experience.
Oh, my God.
I feel like that's why, like, my sex perception and, like, love perception is so skewed. Like, shit like that. I don't know. It sucks that I have to have that connotation with, like, such a beautiful thing.
Right.
You know? But, oh, God, okay, so I just got out of the psych ward.
Yes, tell me about it, please.
Okay, so, shout out to the psych ward. I had a great time, honestly.
Good, I'm glad. I've heard that, like, experiences there are, like, either really good or, like, really bad. I've heard
so, too. I feel like they can be very bad or very good, and, like, you meet a lot of people. But, I was fucking terrified. So about, like, 3 weeks ago, you know, I think I told you this like last time when we recorded the podcast, but the guy that I met up with on Bumble, he ended up this guy, and I just like I was getting a lot of PTSD from it because I have a lot of trauma with shit like that. So I was just like having PTSD from it, and then the day after that, after it happened, it was Mother's Day, and Mother's Day is a very hard day for me because obviously I don't have my mom in my life. And so basically just like my brain and my mental health and my thoughts were just getting bad. Spiraling, exactly. And every day was getting worse. And I was like, okay, there's no way I can let these thoughts get to a point where I even consider hurting myself.
Yeah.
I need to get help now.
I'm so proud of you for that. That takes like so much strength.
Thank you.
And I think that's underrated, and a lot of people don't understand how much strength that actually takes, because that is huge. Like stepping up for yourself like that is more than you can ever do for yourself. That is more worldly like experience and bravery than people will ever understand unless you've been at that point.
Yeah.
Like choosing strength and choosing bravery and choosing to help yourself, that's fucking huge.
Thank you.
And you should be so proud of that.
Thank you, Liv. I really appreciate that. I was fucking terrified to get help.
It's scary.
I was fucking terrified.
Yeah.
I ended up calling my therapist and telling her what was going on. And just like, it was getting to the point where I wasn't even doing normal things right. Like my brain was just having all these bad thoughts in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I felt like I was the only person on the planet. I didn't even feel real. And I was like, all right, I need to get help. There's no way. So I called my therapist and I told her what was going on. And she asked me, she said, Megan, are you having suicidal thoughts? And I said, yes. Because I'm going to be honest, and I know I need help. She's like, okay, you need to go to the ER. You need to tell them what's going on, and they'll get you transferred into a facility. And I was like, wait, but I'm so scared. I don't know if I can do it. Like, I'm scared of ERs. I have a lot of trauma there. Like, I'm fucking terrified. What if the doctors just yell at me? And she's like, you need help. Like, you can do this. So then the next day, my friend Cosmo drove me to my cousin Mikey's house. And then Mikey took me to the ER and, like, dropped me off. And then I told the front desk person what was going on. And then they sent me back to see a nurse. And then they, like, kind of evaluated me. And were like, okay, we're going to put you on this bed. And then a social worker will come here later and evaluate you. I was like, okay. So they put me on this bed in the back for, like, I was in there for, like, 8 hours till the social worker came.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was kind of just, like, sitting on this bed. So literally right when I got there, they took all of my belongings from me except my phone. I even, like, had to change into my hospital gown, and they took my clothes. And then when I would go to the bathroom, like, a security guard would have to stand outside the door. And if I took longer than, like, a minute or two, they'd knock on the door and check on me.
Wow.
Which I didn't know, like, that was going to happen. I didn't really know anything, honestly. But it was really scary.
Yeah. It's good that they take those measures, though.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And then I was just kind of chilling on my hospital bed, and I was, like, in this hallway, and there were curtains, and there were, like, other people next to me. And so finally, it's, like, 8 p.m. I'd been there for 8 hours. The social worker shows up, and she's talking to me, and she's, like, asking me all these questions about my trauma, my childhood, what I've been through, and just, like, what I'm feeling. And I'm telling her, and she's like, okay, I'm going to put you under a 5150. Do you know what that means? And I go, well, kind of, but not really. Everyone just think it means, like, crazy. Like, I don't really know another definition for it than that. And she goes, well, it doesn't mean you're crazy. It just means that you're either 1, a danger to yourself, or 2, a danger to others. I was like, okay, that makes me feel better. That's all right. And she's like, okay, we're going to put you under a 72-hour hold, and we're going to get you transferred to a facility as soon as possible. And I'm like, all right, cool. So then she leaves, and I end up spending the night at the ER. I didn't go to bed till, like, 5 a.m. because it was just way too crazy there. But I woke up the next day, and around noon, and the nurse was like, okay, these EMT guys will be here in, like, an hour to give you an ambulance ride to a facility in Vallejo, which is an hour and a half ride.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, okay. like Vallejo sounds cool. It sounds bougie. It's not bougie, by the way. Vallejo is not bougie.
No. The only thing good about it is Six Flags.
Yeah. And so then an hour later, these hot ass
No. I mean, hey, actually, that's good. You know, like raise your spirits a little bit. Yeah, like, hey, let me get a good look at you real quick.
Exactly. So these hot ass, I swear it's a job description for EMT guys. Like, they're all hot.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I jump up onto the gurney.
Yeah, I'm like,
and then I'm like, hey, and I in my hospital gown and like greasy ass hair and like, you know, like under eye bags and shit. And I'm like, hey, on the gurney, and they're like, hey, and I'm just like talking to them, and they're 20 and 21. So they're so
they are within reach.
They are within my grasp. And so they wheel me to the ambulance, and I'm like sitting in the back with the 20-year-old, and then the 21-year-old is driving. And the whole ambulance ride, me and this EMT guy are hitting it the fuck off.
Shut up.
We're hitting it the fuck off.
Shut up.
And we ended up finding out that we both go to the same gym. I'm like,
you're lying.
I'm like, well, looks like I'm a gym girl now.
Right, I'm a gym right now.
I just worked out. Oh, I need to go to the gym actually.
Yep. What time do you normally like?
Yeah, I'm like, what days do you normally? just curious.
When I'm done with this, you know.
Yeah. When I'm out of the psych ward, you try to connect, and so, okay, so we finally arrived to the facility, and I'm like, okay, I need to be bold here. I'm gonna ask for his fucking Snapchat.
Period.
Because we had been like showing each other Snapchat memories and stuff, and so I felt like that was kind of I don't know.
Okay, go for it. Shoot your shot.
And then I'm like, hey, do you think I could get your Snapchat, or would that be totally inappropriate? And he's like, I would say yes, but it's against HIPAA violations, and I could get fired.
Okay.
And I was like, and he's like, but if we see each other in person, that's
at
not
the
it.
gym.
At the fucking gym.
And you know he's there often if he looks like, if he's an EMT,
yes.
you know he's at the gym often.
Uh-huh, and he's training to be a fucking firefighter.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. And so after that, I was like, okay. And so then I get to the facility, and I'm feeling a little bit better after having that, like, nice social interaction with some cute boys.
Good.
You know, grounded me back to earth. I didn't feel as, like, alone, which was nice. But I was still feeling, like, pretty bad.
Right.
And then I get to the facility, and they wheel me in, and they COVID test me. And the first thing the guy says is, are you able to be safe here with the other patients and with yourself? And I say, yes, absolutely. So they wheel me in, and then they bring me into this room, and they're like taking my weight, my height, and then I had to strip naked for them.
Ooh. Did they do the
things.
squat and cough?
They didn't, thank God.
Did they look in your ass at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah, that was a little weird. And then they're like, okay, you can like go to your room. So I go to my room, and I have a roommate.
Okay.
And she's a girl. She's like 26, and I walk in, and she's laying on the bed. And I was fucking terrified of like a roommate, because I'm like, what if this bitch crazy?
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm crazy, but like, what if this bitch crazy? Like, I don't know.
Right.
So I walk in, and I'm like, hi, I'm Megan. Like, da da da. She's like, what are you here for? So just right off the bat, I'm like, whoa.
Yikes.
Whoa, okay, all right.
That's a lot.
But I'm like, oh, I'm here for suicidal ideation. Like, I just want to get help, da da da. What are you here for? And she's like, well, I threw a hammer at my neighbor's house.
Ooh.
I'm like, okay, my roommate's going to kill me in my sleep. I'm done. It's over for me.
Yikes.
But then she goes on to explain that she did that because she thought her neighbors were sex trafficking her children, but it was actually her mom who was sex trafficking her children. And I was like, all right, you can throw all the hammers you want.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. Yeah. And
holy shit.
honestly, like, being in there and like hearing these people's stories was such a perspective for me. Like, I was like, fuck, these people are going through some crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
And then And then they quarantined me for 30 hours in a room by myself.
Whoa.
And I was the guinea pig. So I ended up being the only person they did this to because it ended up not working out. Yeah, it was fucked up because I went there because I was felt lonely and needed support. And then to just get to the facility and then, like, quarantine me, I almost went insane.
You were alone for 30 hours?
Yeah, in a room. Just, like,
that
with, like, one
insanity.
little bed
Why would
and
they
one
do
bathroom.
That?
Yeah.
That literally causes insanity. Like,
yeah.
You know those rooms and, like, they used to have, like, solitary isolation in prisons where they, like, taped these headphones of white noise to you, put you in a pitch black room where you physically couldn't see your hands.
Ugh.
And you have this white noise, so you can't hear anything but the white noise, and you can't see anything. And you're in isolation. You don't have a reference of time. Like, you're all alone. Like, and they proved that to be insane, and it's a torture technique.
Oh, I would go insane.
Yeah.
I was literally, I should have brought my journal. It's actually really funny. I'll put, like, a picture of what I wrote in my journal up. But it's literally, when I was in there, I wrote, oh, fuck, I hope I don't have a psychotic break. And then I drew a picture of SpongeBob, and then in the bubble it says, help. I was going crazy, bro.
Stop it. It's not funny. It's not funny.
It kind of is. And then when I was in there, I've never wrote fan fiction before. Like, I always thought it was
Did
like
you write
weird.
fan fiction?
Bro, I had to make myself laugh somehow.
She popped off. Okay, what was it about, though?
I wrote Psych ward fan fiction.
Please tell me the EMT guys were in it.
Let's just say I went to Paris. Bro, I had to make myself laugh.
I'm sorry.
I had to. It's the funniest shit I've ever wrote in my life.
Please read it.
Oh, absolutely.
I need a copy.
It's so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god, I still can't believe I did that. But
oh my god.
So then after they were quarantining me, they finally let me out, right? They finally let me out of this fucking jail cell. But, you know, the whole time I was in there, I was like, I was just sitting there, I was like, you know what? Young Thug's got it worse right now. I'm fucking fine. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, dude, young Thug has it worse than this. I'm okay. But
wait, where's Young Thug?
Oh, he's in jail or prison? Prison.
Yikes.
Yeah. I'm a thugger girl. I love Young Thug.
Good luck, Young Thug.
Free Young Thug. But anyways, so after I got out of quarantine, they're like, all right, now you can go socialize with the other patients. And I was very excited for this because I felt very fucking alone. And so we get this thing called outside time twice a day for like 30, 45 minutes. And when they released me, it was outside time. So I went outside, and I go up to this guy who, like, looks like he's, like, 21, you know. Just trying to make some friends in the psych ward, as one does.
Love that.
And I go up to him, I'm like, hi, I'm Megan. And he's like, hi, I'm I go, da-da-da. He's like, what are you in here for? And I tell him. And I go, what are you in here for? And he goes, well, I thought my grandma was going to kill me. So I drove to her house and I was going to kill her first. Bro, it's over for me. In this moment, I was like, all right, I'm done making friends.
Bro.
Like, yeah, some sociopath psycho shit.
That's like schizophrenia, like paranoia shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like because this guy's mom would like always call him for the duration of while he was there. Mm-hmm. And me and my friends that I made in the psych ward, we kind of formulated this theory that since he goes to like a really rich prep school and he's from fucking Brentwood, like we think that his mom like got hella good lawyers to get him sent to the psych ward instead of the jail. because I feel like that's something you should go to, like, jail for. Like, that's
attempt
fucking
of
crazy.
murder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that
what the
is jail
fuck?
time.
Yeah, like, what?
That
That's
is literally
crazy.
attempt of murder. Did he tell you anything else about it?
Mm-mm. But
Oh.
I was just trying to stay away from him after.
Yeah.
Because we all know I'm vulnerable to the sociopath.
Jeez.
But then after that, I was supposed to be getting out the next day, right? So I was like, all right, one more night, I'm chilling. I go to bed. Next morning, I wake up. And I go out, and the nurse tells me, oh, you're not going to be leaving today. The doctor said you're not ready.
Yikes.
And I was fully under the impression that if you go to a psych ward voluntarily and they put you under a 72-hour hold, I thought that since I was there voluntarily, I could leave after that, whenever.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works.
No.
Apparently, it's fully up to the psychiatrists and the doctors.
Yeah, that's what kept me from going.
Yeah.
Because you know how, like, I told you how I was planning on going, like, a while ago?
Yeah.
When I was like, well, I have work next week. Like, I can't be out of work for more than a week.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just going to come for a week, like, get
Yeah.
myself good, and then I'm out. And they were like, yeah, that's not how it works. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready to be tied down like that.
Exactly. Exactly. And that tied down feeling,
It's scary.
it's
so
fucking
scary.
The first 3 nights, I thought I was going to go insane. I felt like I was trapped, like fully trapped. I was like plotting my escape. I was like, okay, all right, I'm going to jump over this fence. Like,
oh my gosh.
I was like, yeah, I'm like, it was bad. But then the longer I was there, and then like this girl named Sequoia came in for postpartum depression, and she was 26 also, like my other roommate. She was my new roommate, and we became fucking besties. And then this guy named Kyrie came, and he's like 20, and he became besties with us. And literally, I fucking leaned on these motherfuckers, and like we leaned on each other, and it was fucking beautiful. And we found out it was so awesome. They probably helped me more than anything.
That warms my heart.
It just, the feeling of not being alone is fucking huge.
Yeah.
And like we all bonded over like similar childhood trauma and like narcissistic mothers and like narcissistic abuse. Like we've all been through that.
It all comes down to the parents.
It all comes down to being a fucking product of your parents.
Period.
And it's all about breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
Always.
That's why I can't stand motherfuckers who are like, why are you doing gentle parenting? That's not how it's supposed to be done. I'm like, really? Really? You don't think it's a good idea to start a new generation of a different type of parenting by now? You don't think that's a good idea?
Completely.
I'm sorry. How are you parented?
Yeah. Like, fuck that. I think that's why I don't want to have a kid.
Yeah.
There's no way I cannot live with myself if I gave trauma to a kid and fucked them up and brought them into the fucked up world.
Right.
Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
No kiddos for me.
Yeah.
Nope.
We're already overpopulated.
Exactly. All right. We want to pause?
Okay.
Yeah. Quick break.
Megan, I have not laughed that hard in so long.
That was so funny.
I haven't not laughed that hard in so long. We should go on tour.
We should. I'm so down. I'm down for a little tour.
All right, we're good.
All right.
Hell yeah, let's get it started.
All right, I'm fucking ready. All right. Welcome back from the little break that we took, but it doesn't seem like a break because you didn't even know, but we know.
Right, we know.
Yeah.
In here. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's what matters in here. All right, so I just kind of wanted to wrap up my thoughts about the psych ward. So it was a very scary experience. I was fucking terrified going there, and it's scary to get the help, but I got the help.
And that's important.
Yes, it is very important.
That's huge.
And I hope other people out there, if they're feeling really, really bad and feeling very alone and you need help, don't be afraid to get help and ask for help. I think that was the biggest problem of mine. I was really scared to ask someone for help.
Yeah.
But once I did that, it was huge. The psych ward taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Mostly like with the connections and stories I heard from others were just huge.
Yeah.
And like that was kind of therapy in itself. And then we also had a bunch of like group therapies where I learned a lot. But literally it was like a mental reset from life. Like I didn't have to deal with the responsibilities and the stress of the real world for a little while.
You focus on yourself.
Exactly. That was exactly what I needed.
Do you feel like you came out of it, like, healed?
I do. I miss it there now.
Really?
I miss it there. And if you would have told me I would be feeling like that after I left the psych ward, I'd be like, what? You're crazy. But I actually fucking miss it there.
Yeah.
So not only did I have support and help, and it was structure, and it was like, oh, you're eating at this time, snack time at this time, group meeting at this time, you know?
Right.
Outside time, like whatever, like it was structure and it was support and it was safe.
That's awesome.
It was fucking safe there. And I miss it. And I've also found myself missing living in my car lately, which is really fucking weird. Because when I was in my car, you know, all I wanted was to like get my own place and get out of there. But now I'm like, wow, I actually miss the person I was when I was living in my car because I had all this freedom and I was like powerful and I was like getting independent and getting shit done. And, and I was like, I want to be that person again. But that's the thing. You can't really be a person that you were. You just got to become a new version of yourself. Right. That's been something I've been balancing lately.
That's huge. Yeah. And I could see why you would miss that, you know, like you took that shit like a champ. Like, I can see how you've, like, found comfort in that. And, you know, like, at the park and, like, where you were. And, like, that definitely, like, is a huge feeling of independence. But you can still have that, like, even if you're living with other people, like, you still have, like, your independence. And you're still that person. That person didn't go anywhere. You are still Megan. And you are still fucking fighting, just life and being like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna make you my bitch, life. Like, I fucking love that. Like, that's what I admire most about you. Like, that person is still there. She has always been there, and she will forever be there. That is a part of you, and that's who you are. And I see how you can miss that, but she's not gone. I can assure you, she's not gone.
Thank you, Liv. That was so sweet.
Of course.
That means the world to me.
Of course.
That was the other thing when I was in the psych ward. I'm like, okay, I'm going to break these old habits, like, where I would stay in my room and be like a hermit crab and be depressed. And, like, now I'm, like, changing my habits where I'm like, okay, I'm making myself go to the gym. I'm making myself go on a walk. I'm making myself eat this. I'm going to do this. No, I'm not going to just sit here and, like, cry to little peep and all this. Right. And just changing old habits, I think, was a huge thing. But
that's life-changing. Literally life-changing.
But, yo, let me just say, I would have fucking moved into the psych ward. The food was there. The food there was so good.
Really?
It was so good.
What kind of food do they have?
Oh, we had, like, I'm lactose intolerant, right? And, like, I can't really eat a lot of acidic things because of my acid reflux diet. So I got, like, vegan mac and cheese and, like, broccoli and, like, chicken and, like, all this stuff. And it was, oh, my God, it was Oreos. We had the best snacks. Like, it was great. I would have, give me my Stizzy and my phone. You know what? No, I don't even need my phone. Give me my Stizzy and, like, an iPod to listen to music.
Right.
I'm good. I will move into the psych ward.
Oh.
It was great. The Grippy Sock Hotel, I fucking miss it.
The what?
The Grippy Sock Hotel.
What is that? You're going to have to, some explanation.
Like, so you know how psych wards have, like, grippy socks?
Yes. Oh, Grippy Sock Motel. Okay. Oh, the Grippy Sock Motel. Okay. I was like, what? Okay.
But, okay, so, all right, now that we've talked about that, let me just say, when the night I got out of the psych ward, I went home, and I was so fucking excited to sleep in my bed, because I'd been sleeping in hospital beds for a week, right?
Yeah.
I go to get into my bed, and there's fucking cockroaches everywhere in my brand new bed. Damn it. Fuck. Everywhere. Thanks, Phil. They were everywhere. And I was like, all right, fuck. So I actually stayed the night at Max's house that night, which he was here last episode. And then the next day, I, like, drove to my dad's girlfriend's house back in Humboldt because I didn't know where to go. And then I ended up staying there for a few days, fresh out of the psych ward, you know. I really needed some love and compassion.
Right. Emotions are high.
Emotions are fucking high.
Yeah.
Literally, they handed me my phone back after I got out, and I'm like, how the fuck do I use this? The fuck is this? Like, and then I drove back to Sacramento, I'm still doing my thing on Bumble, right? I was off it for a while. I should be off of it, but it's so hard when you feel alone and you don't have friends to lean on. We as humans are not meant to be alone. We are not meant to have no one to lean on when we feel this way. And I was like, fuck am I gonna do? So, just me on Bumble, because I think I'm addicted to Bumble and Hinge.
Really?
Like, for the validation, because of the loneliness, you know? And it's not even like loneliness, like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. It's just like, I want friends. I want human interaction. I want connection. And it's hard. Sometimes homie comes into your life to introduce you to his other homies.
Yeah.
And, that's what he was there for.
And that's okay. And more friends, the better.
Yeah, more friends, the better. I start drinking, right? I start drinking tequila with my almond milk.
You still do it?
Dude, they were like, why the fuck are you chasing tequila with almond milk? It's the perfect chaser. Don't come for me.
Stop. Wait, when did you start doing that? It was at my house,
yes,
right? Okay, I didn't want to claim that, but like we definitely started doing that because we didn't have a chaser. And we're like, bro, we can't just shoot tequila straight. Like, we're like 2 shots in, our throats are burning. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do? We don't have any juice. Water's not gonna cut it. And you're like, we've got almond milk. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it, let's try it. Here it goes. And that shit worked like a charm.
It fucking works.
Literally,
y'all. It fucking works.
Don't knock it till you try it. Because just like milk, it gets spicy taste out of your mouth. That's why people drink milk after they eat spicy stuff. Yes. Same with alcohol. You want the alcohol taste? Gone.
Same shit, y'all. Almond milk.
Literally. And you could get the sweetened almond milk, too, if you're feeling spicy.
This was a good podcast.
I think this was a really good episode.
I think so, too. I think we touched, like, psych ward, mental health. If you're feeling alone and are struggling with mental health, don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that's, like, my number one advice.
Talk about it. Talk to people. Like, even if you think that they don't care, just talk about it. Yeah. Get it out there. Find help.
Yeah.
Like that Vine. It's like, get help.
Get help. Get some help. You need
some help. But it's serious. Like, getting help is braver than sitting on your own. Sitting on your own and trying to ride things out on your own and, like, telling yourself, like, I don't need anyone. Like, I'm just going to isolate myself, get myself through this. That's not how it works. Like you were saying earlier, we are a herd animal.
Yes.
We are meant to be in a herd. We are meant to be helped with other people around us. Get people who you trust. Get a support system, and, like do whatever you can. Yes. And I hope you know that you have me as well.
Thank you, Liv. I appreciate you. And you got me.
Of course. I already know Shawty.
Shawty.
And period.
Thank you.
And you know how to draw that line between, like, a sexual relationship and friendship.
You got me turned into a horse. I don't know about that one. All right, well, thank you for tuning in. This one we got deep. We also got a lot of fun.
Got real.
But don't do Molly 3 days in a row, and y'all have a
don't
good
add
one.
Shrooms onto it.
Yeah, don't add Shrooms onto it.
Yeah, y'all be safe. Yeah. Get some help.
Subscribe below, motherfuckers.
Period. Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace.